On
this.
Comics You Crave this week, Ryan, why don't you tell everybody what we read?
Well, this week we decided to go with a one shot from Image Comics. Their Top Cow, kind of like their subsection. They have a one shot comic that's called The 13th Artifact, and it comes from Amit Chow Chuhan, Eli Powell, and Andrew Elder. Um, and these are essentially they won a contest a year ago that Top Cow put out.
Yeah, it was called it
Um,
was the 2015 Talent Hunt winners.
yes, and so they were the winners. Emmett Chuhan and Eli Powell, and um, essentially it's kind of the old sci-fi story of astronaut lands on a planet and trying to survive essentially.
Well,
Um,
it's a very sci-fi story, but what I really enjoyed about it
oh
was it was a multi-genre story. But
yeah,
like Ryan said, it starts out with basically two astronauts land on a planet. Um,
well,
Spoiler:
one,
one of them dies immediately, so I wouldn't really say it's much of a
yeah,
spoiler. Happens on the first page, but the story progresses and it tells the story of the sole survivor who explores the world that she finds, and it's not quite what she'd hoped for, and it
yeah,
turns very dark, and honestly, it turns in kind of a horror sci-fi story. I,
yeah,
I don't
and I liked it when it turned that direction. Honestly,
Yeah, I don't really want to
uh,
give too much away because it was really fun just reading it. I did not know what to expect from this. Like Ryan said, we knew going into it that this was a contest winner. So basically, this team of Armit, you know what? We're gonna butcher the names, but this
uh,
duo of writers and artists who put together this comic. They entered a contest, put their work out there, and said, "Yeah, we like you. We're gonna give you your own comic book." And this is what they came up with, and it's really good. It was
yeah.
really good. I was really
I
excited to read this.
I hope that Image makes more out of it. I hope that this one shot gives them a platform to try and maybe expand
Yeah.
the. I mean, it might be hard with how they left it, um,
Well,
but
it's a testament to the writer and the artist that they created a whole world. So, like we said, this is a one shot. It's only, I think it's 27 pages long. In 27 pages, they created an entire universe, told a story, a comprehensive story from start to finish that was intriguing, well
yeah,
written, and kept us flipping through to the last page. And like Ryan said, at the end of it, they established a whole universe that we want to know more about.
yeah, and I mean even it's like how we read that last one shot that we did, where you read the end and you're like, okay, so this obviously was not a one shot because they left it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I mean, like they kind of do leave it on the 13th artifact on a slight cliffhanger, but it's the story's done from that point. You know it's done, but you're like, oh, I want to know, what happened, where how to get to that point, or did they send in more people, after that, and
Yeah, well,
and
I mean, and you're absolutely right. I was a little nervous reading this one after we read the last one because a lot of one shots that we've read have not told the complete story. And in fact, in reading a one shot, you know that it's a single shot. You're not getting more. So if it's not completed, you're left disappointed. But Arnett and Eli, I mean, hopefully we're pronouncing your names right. Sorry guys if we're not, but
yeah,
you guys told an amazing story. It was the first one shot that I've read that I want a sequel, but I don't need one. It was a great complete story, and nowadays we don't seem to get a lot of those. Everything's set up for a sequel or a trilogy or whatever, and it was a good story. It was intense. It was scary. It was
engaging.
it was very very engaging, and a lot
Yeah,
of the story was
you
told
think
from
about
a
the
from a
fourth,
first
like,
person perspective, and I don't like a lot of narrative. I like actually talking and
mhm.
people telling the story instead of the story happening in their mind, and this was amazing.
Yeah, what did you think of the artwork? I like
Um,
the cityscapes, when they first started to show the
See if I
the
can
first
show a little bit of
cityscape
the
that they
artwork here.
showed,
See if I can find one
like
that
with
doesn't
the big
spoil
huge
anything. There we go.
tower in the middle.
So
Yeah,
there's a sample of the artwork. They go with it's a mix of kind of almost like the abstract, but with clean lines. It's a great comic. I love the coloring. It works perfectly for this story.
yeah, and I think in the end it got a lot darker,
Oh
and
yeah,
so the artwork got super dark, and it was awesome.
yeah. They used a great. They used a Eli. Used a, I think it's Eli, right? Is the
Yeah,
artist. Used a great color scheme to tell a story. So, like you said, it starts out optimistic and the colors are brighter. And as the story gets darker and more violent, the colors get darker and more
yeah,
violent.
and
It
in
was
the scene, the scenes in the background, yeah. See, like in the scenes in the background got a lot darker too. So it was it was I was thoroughly surprised, and I'm glad that I read it, and it makes me want to buy a physical copy, even
yeah.
though we had the digital one, just because it's something that I think that would translate good on the paper as well as digital,
Oh yeah, I
and
think it would look
just
beautiful on
keep it
paper,
around.
honestly.
So
I would love to see it. I'm with you, Ryan. I actually want a physical copy of this. I actually think it would look beautiful on paper. I think one of the things I really enjoyed about this comic book is that me and you read a lot of comics for this and just in our own personal lives, and very rarely are we surprised at something. This
hmm
comic surprised me.
yeah.
It started
And
as one thing.
it's cool because we just kind of picked it like kind of on a whim. Mostly, it was like, well, let's just give that one a shot. It's a one shot, and we'll just see how
Well,
it goes. And
yeah. I mean, I had heard about the award. I heard about the Hope Award winner, and I thought, no, that's kind of cool. Top Cow and Image gave somebody who wasn't a professional a chance to become a professional, and I just wanted to see what they had to offer, and I'm really glad we chose it. I mean, it's the comic book took us on a journey. It started out as something new and optimistic. It it turned to something more intense, and then you had this overwhelming sense of dread as you were going towards the end. It took you on 27 pages. It did what a lot of comics don't do. It takes you on a complete journey, and it took you all the way through the emotional spectrum. And by the end, you're just like, man, that was good.
yeah,
I really enjoyed this comic book a lot.
yeah, and I really hope they get a chance to make something else from this series. So
Yeah. So I guess I speak for Ryan. We'll keep it short. We love this comic. We think everyone should read this comic, and this is a must own for everybody. Three
it's
ninety nine
it's,
from Image. It is well worth the money you're going to spend on this.
it's $3.99.
Three
So
ninety nine. Me and Ryan say buy it. It's a one
uh,
shot, so just don't subscribe to it, obviously,
you
because
don't
it's
have
just
to
one.
worry about long-term commitments
Nope.
or if you're gonna miss an issue or anything like that. Just get the one shot. It's well worth it.
Yeah, buy it, add it to your collection. Something else that's kind of cool that's worth mentioning is at least on the digital copy, I hope they do this on the physical copy. The last 3 pages of it, they
Yes.
actually showed the script at which
Yes.
Arnett and Eli kind of worked together to create the comic book. So it gives you a pretty cool little look inside the comic and the creative process of how they, their original script to what it ends up being. So as a person who reads a lot of comics and likes to see how the process is done, I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah. And if you ever want to be a comic book artist, this does kind of give you an idea of what the process is like.
Yeah, and how to
And
script it.
and maybe it might inspire you to, try and, do something with your friend. So,
But yeah, I definitely hope to see more from Amit and Eli in the future. So,
mhm.
13th Artifact, 399 from Image. Me and Ryan say buy it now.
Yep,
Do not
definitely buy it.
wait. Go get it immediately. You will not be disappointed. Nice work, guys.
Yeah.
We expect great things from
Keep
you. We can't
coming.
wait to see more of your
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, get some more stuff going now.
Yes, definitely. I'm very anxious to read more of what you guys have to offer. So, there you go. Buy it. 13th Artifact from Image Comics.
It's out now.
2 thumbs up. Way up. So up, you can't even see him on the screen anymore.
Mhm.